Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up. I'm Run7. How you doing? Today we're going over Commandeer 77's defense. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Still have less and less voice as time goes on. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have to take another break from streaming or something so I can get my voice back. But we're going to try and keep this video a little bit shorter and get through it. Starting off with team number 1 is AIM. I've actually been coming across AIM on defense a lot lately, both in these videos and in war. It's kind of strange. I think it's because we've upgraded to 10 rooms instead of 8, and people are just throwing stuff in. So, right off the bat, I don't like the ISOs and I don't like the placement on this. Your minions need to be in the center. All of them have adjacent stuff going on. And you're going to want Graviton to the outside. You put Fortifier on Scientist Supreme because you were trying to keep her alive, and that's okay. Let's just make them war ready, though. This one over here, this should be a healer. You don't need Fortifier on your tank. She does just fine, and she has healing properties built into her adjacent stuff, so the healer really works well on that. Healer over here is right. Skirmisher there is good enough. I like Skirmisher there and Striker here, so you've got one Skirmisher, one Striker. It works. It's good. So change the placements, swap this one ISO for sure, and then get them war ready. I think you're going to have yourself a team. I think as a filler team, it's pretty good. Going to give you a B- for it. And then hopefully in the future we can get some better teams, because if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't get a lot of time to go over your defense in advance, but if I'm not mistaken, you've got some pretty big numbers here coming up. Team number 2 is a Guardians team. Let's see. I like Star-Lord as a striker, and I usually swap out these two characters, I usually swap out Drax for Minerva or something like that, so that you get this 3-piece that does triple and quadruple hit combos off of Groot being a skirmisher. But it's not really worth changing his ISO investment, so go ahead and just make him war ready. Leave it as it is. You've got an extra Guardian in here, which kind of fiddles with that mechanic anyway. Drax should be a Raider. I think you should change him now rather than build that up. And I think Vision, take him to level 5 Skirmisher if you want him to stick anything. That ability block is just has such low focus. You've got to have Skirmisher level 5. But maybe just go war ready. This team isn't worth investing in. It's an old team. It's pretty garbage. And the other thing is, so Vision spawns in with defense up and defense up for tech characters. So Drax isn't getting any benefit from him. Groot isn't getting any benefit from him. Groot, however, has such good synergy with Rocket and Star-Lord and stuff. We got to keep him in there. But that's another reason why I like Minerva in on this spot, is because of her tech synergy with Vision. But again, really not worth making too many changes. Get this team war ready. I think you should change this one ISO, and we'll call it good. I'm going to give you a B- for that one as well. Over here, we've got a Wave 1 team. This is looking really good. Healer, Striker, Skirmisher, Striker. Okay, a lot of people are doing Striker to get that just standard, the straight across the board damage increase for Thor. I'm finding it's pretty good. I'm talking with a lot of people, and they're okay with it. I personally like him as a Raider because of how many AoE attacks he does and getting those vulnerables on the field. I'm just a big fan of vulnerable. That's 10% for other people to work off of, and double taps for her, who she's clearing and flipping and stealing and doing all kinds of stuff like that. So, but you got him level 5. He stays as a striker. Okay, so we're war ready. We got good investment in the characters you need invested in. This is an A, man. I think this is an A. Good placement. Maybe you might be able to swap some stuff around over here with Thor and Hawkeye. Hawkeye should probably be a little bit further away, but honestly, she's blocking everything, so who cares? I'm going to go ahead and give you the A for that. Just barely squeaking by an A-. Team number 4, the Fantastic Four. Okay, we want She-Hulk in the center, so she's picking up negative effects whenever they're thrown around by a Black Order. That makes it really hard for the Black Order to come in here. Also, she's taunting and stuff, so you're going to have some chain damage coming off of her, and you want it to hit all the other people. It puts the charges above her head, so you want her right in the thick of things. We got skirmisher, striker, striker, skirmisher, and you put striker on her. I'm actually going as a fortifier. She doesn't have much synergy with any ISO, so it doesn't matter if you want to go striker, go striker. Just get him up to war ready levels, and I'm going to go ahead and say A- for this team. Change the placement, bump him up. Great investment, good overall power level. You got the extra power where it's needed. She is good on this team on defense. If you're serious about this team, you could bring her up a little bit more. A- there. Team number 5, Emmarauders. Standard Emmarauder build. I like him as a fortifier rather than a healer. You have him at level 4 healer, okay? Leave him where he's at. It's too late to change it now, but he should be a fortifier. He does great with the barrier mechanic. And then you've got Emma next to him. That's fine. She can recover from those adjacent attacks. So placement's good. You've got skirmisher and raider. Those are backwards. You want him as a raider. You want her as a skirmisher. And now with him on his Weapon X team, you absolutely want him as a raider. That sucks that you wasted that investment on him as a skirmisher. Don't bother changing Mystique because she's just not a good enough character. This team is going to end up getting broken up and used for pieces on both offense and defense. As is, I would give you an A if those were swapped, but it's a lot of a waste of ISOs, so I'm going to go with a B for that team. Team number 6, Mercs with Ultimus. Okay, we normally see Ultimus out on the end, and to be honest with you, I don't even know why it would matter. Oh, I know why, because he's a lot tougher than Korath. Korath should be right here getting the adjacent deflects off of Riot Guard. You have one striker for your Taskmaster to play off of. So either you need to change your Taskmaster to a striker and get Bullseye in here as a skirmisher, which I do not recommend doing that because Bullseye isn't good enough and you're at a high level. Or you need to get these guys changed to striker and striker. Just get everybody as a striker except for Taskmaster, and you can bring out the value in him. Yes, they only attack once every other turn, and even less sometimes in the case of Riot Guard because of the way the energy comes out. But any chance to get more damage out of your Taskmaster is the way to go. And for those of you building up a Merc team, you can always build your Taskmaster through the roof and then have your Mercs not as much. And then they're pulling him in for those counters. And, no, wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other build. On Mercs, you want to have them pretty much all the same. So bring this guy up a little bit more. You want to have him about 120 probably. And Korath, of course, has to go up 2 because, well, I guess you're up over 700, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to bring in X-Force for this team anyway, so you're probably safe. You're probably safe. Wouldn't hurt to bring them up just a little bit more. You got a killer Merc team. So change those ISOs, put a little bit of power in there. I'm going to give you a B for that team. It's just really strong, really powerful. Let's see here. This is a tech villain team with Doom. Never seen anything like this before. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you got Skirmisher on this guy. He looks like he's just in here to fill a space. He has some tech villain synergy, and he's just in here filling a space. You could put... you don't want to put Ultron in here. Not with all the bots from Doom. But I mean, it's just you have a villain tech team. I think you should put Ultron in here in place of Doom and use Doom for a different defense. Yeah, do that. Ultron in here with a villain tech team is going to work out fantastic. That's a definite way to go. Put a little more power into him so he survives if you're serious about this team. He's just not that great of a character. A lot of people still like Yellow Jacket. I'm just not one of them. Healer, striker, skirmisher. Those are all correct. I like what you're doing here. I think this is an Ultron team, not a Doom team, though. So it's pretty good. We could do better. Let's do give it a B, and then I'd like to see you put Doom on a different defense. Team number 8 is Black Order, is what it is. These guys can do... he can do any ISO you want. He can do a lot of the ISOs. Skirmisher, striker is fine. Skirmisher there, that's good. Placement is fine, although... I mean, all the placement on Black Order is arguable. I've seen everything because we did the mirror matches for a year. I pretty much prefer Thanos right here and Ma either here or here is how I like to do it. I do like her out on the end, though. Again, placement and ISOs on this team are quite forgivable. These two are the only ones that you want to have. One as a skirmisher, one as a striker. I run them on offense, and I think it's a better offensive team than a defensive team personally. And I like to have her as a striker and him as a skirmisher because I can control it, and I can do those basic double taps, clearing tons of positive effects. And I have a pretty powerful, whatever her name is, Proxima Midnight. And so that's why I run her as a striker and him as a skirmisher, because he's weak on my team. But it doesn't matter either way. I do like the team better on offense. I'm going to go ahead and give you an A for that. But I do think you should consider putting them on offense. There's just a lot of stuff that they still work really well against. Team number 9, Coulson Fury with Kestral and some minions. I think this is okay. I think Fury is a liability on this team, and I think that you should trade these two, or I'm sorry, trade all three. You should go Fury, Kestral, and the Secret Avengers on offense is what should be done. And then utilize Coulson on like that Mystic and Humans hybrid team. That's pretty good still. Or if you want, you could just throw the other minions back in here, but that team just gets rolled over so much anymore, it's kind of pointless. I like him better on that. I think it's like Surfer, Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and then Crystal is the team that I like him on. And you can leave him as a skirmisher, although his two best choices are Raider and Striker. On the Inhumans team, he's better as a Raider because you've got a bunch of big strikers that use those vulnerables. On his traditional team, he's better as a striker because there will be vulnerables out on the field and he can rewind some turn meter on his basics. So skirmisher, unfortunately, is a waste. It's the third best choice for him. Fury should be a Raider in every single build. She is a healer. He could be a healer or a skirmisher, sometimes even a striker if you want, but not a fortifier. He's usually tanky enough. He doesn't need that. So I think there's a lot of wasted ISOs. I think that this team is a total waste because of Fury's minions. The symbiotes can still knock them into the red and get rolling and take out your Kestral, which is a huge waste of a Kestral. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing. I think you're going to get a D for this one. A lot of work to do, a lot of thinking about what you want to go in its place. And like I said, the best thing for these two is to put them with the Secret Avengers and roll over people on offense. And finally, we have team number 10. No surprise here. Heroes for hire. Everybody's got them. Everybody hates them. You've got one that people hate extra special because it's so big. Let's see if you did the ISOs right. We've got Fortifier on Luke Cage. That's correct. We've got Healer on Iron Fist next to Luke Cage. I like that placement. Then we've got Skirmisher and Raider on these two. Any placement there works. I kind of like Shang Tsung over here on the edge because Wang Chung is a high priority target and I like to keep him as far away from Luke Cage as possible. There's some stuff with the Infinity Watch and how their T4s work. Somebody might not have the right T4s and it saves you like one hit. We're splitting hairs, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, yeah, the Shredder here, I hate him a lot. I hate this whole team, to tell you the truth. It's why I'm building Weapon X. I just want to be able to devour these teams quickly and efficiently. And you've got her as a level 2 striker. Remember to get Misty Knight up to a level 3 skirmisher before you take Calling Wing to a level 3 striker. There's no point in taking them to a level 3 striker if there isn't a double vulnerable on the field, and that can only be done with a level 3 skirmisher. However, everything is good or good enough. I'm going to give you the A for that team. Pretty nice. I think we've got some work to do on the rest of this roster, but towards the end it really picks up some speed, and honestly it's really all about Heroes for Hire in war these days. All right. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. If I made a mistake or if you have a question about some of my decisions, please leave the comments. I read each and every one of them most of the time. And remember, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and each other too. I'll catch you next time. Bye.